Hey, good Sunday evening. Thanks for joining me with what's on my crafting table. I'm Sandy with Quilted Treasures and More. Just checking screens and making sure that everything is working okay. With Facebook, you never know. Sometimes everything rocks along really smooth, and then other times you can click on here and you're frozen, and you never know if it's working or not. So I try to check everything from time to time. I hope y'all have had a good Sunday. Hope you've had a good weekend. I have had a good weekend. Got to work on a few things yesterday and worked on the new box that I'll be launching here in a couple of weeks. So you'll start to see little promo clips for the Door Dazzle box, is what it's called. And so you'll get to see a few clips here and there and promos as we get ready to launch that one and reveal that one to you. So worked on that some yesterday. Also have been working on finished up baseball and softball stuff, and I'm trying to think what else I had going on. I've got Door Dazzle has been my thought process all week long, so sometimes it gets jumbled up with everything else. Do want to let you know, though, that if you're not on our e-newsletter list, you can comment "add me" in the comments, and I will get you on our e-newsletter list. It goes out on Sunday evenings once our live is finished, about 8:15, 8:30 in there. And so it has inside scoop on what is coming in the weeks ahead and months ahead, and all I'll need is your email address. So if you type "add me" and your email address, I will get you in before that goes out. Also, I know there was one other thing. I didn't put my Post-it notes up here tonight, so I'm really having to rely on my brain. No cheat sheet tonight. Oh my goodness, this is going to be interesting, I'm sure. One more thing I was going to mention besides the Door Dazzle box. Oh, Mailbox Delight. I knew it's right there on the tip of my tongue. Mailbox Delight. What is that? Well, if you will spread the love, sprinkle the love amongst family and friends for this video and with this video, just come back and type in sprinkled in the comments. And at the end of this month, which is not far away, I will be doing a giveaway, and you will receive a little happy mail or a little mailbox delight, something nice in your mailbox other than all the junk mail and bills that we get on a daily basis. So that's what mailbox delight is. All right, so let me check on everything one more time. Looks like everything is moving smoothly. If you're dropping in with me this evening, or hanging out with me this evening, just drop a hello or a hi so I'll know you're there. And let's take a look at what we're going to be working on today. All right, so here's what's on my crafting table. This is a summer theme. I actually have an in-person paint party coming up, and I invited all the ones from the in-person paint party to come join us this evening and watch as I paint. This is one of two options that they have for the paint party coming up, and it's a summer-themed paint party. So there will be flip-flops and then this one. So I'm going to paint this one tonight. This will be the example that will be placed Um, at the paint party for them to look at if they choose to use the colors, or at least get an idea of something that they can do on this particular door hanger. And this can always be changed. You see it with words on it, but you can always change it up. You could use "Hello Summer," or you could just put "Welcome," or "Hi y'all," any of that on there. So this one actually says "Some beach somewhere." So we're going to get started on this one. All right, so this is going to have a whole lot of color to it. It's got a beach ball, which has got a lot of color. It's got a umbrella, which is going to have a lot of color, and probably the sky and the sand are going to be probably the most solid color you're going to see on this one. So we're going to go ahead and jump in with the sky. I'm gonna go ahead and get that done. As you can see, I've traced it out and then I went over it with the marker so that way I can see it even after I have put paint down over it. So that will help me find my lines when I get ready to go to the next stage, whether that is working on the letters or any other things I want to do to the sky. I've seen some of these. One had polka dots on the sky. I'm not going to do polka dots on the sky. I am going to put polka dots on the little sand pail though. So we'll get to that later on. Let's see, what brush do I want to use first? And I have quite a few brushes here off to the side. That one looks like a good one. So I'm going to jump in. We're just going to go with a light blue for our back here, for our sky. And of course, if you've watched me very long or hung out with me for very long, you know I like to do 2 coats pretty much of every color. That way I make sure I get a good coverage. Now I'm just going to go, I'm not really worried about covering up the lines on the words. If you noticed, I just kind of smeared some of that over there. And what I'm doing is checking out how much I can see if I paint over it. And as you can see through it pretty well. So I'm not really worried about covering that up too much. If I were painting this just for somebody who wanted it, I would leave the words off and come back and trace them on later. But when you're doing things like a Facebook Live or you're doing paint parties, whether online or in person, sometimes it's easier if you go ahead and just put everything on there. That way you don't have to stop so much and do tracing and wait for paint to dry really well, which is one reason why I love having blow dryers handy. I have to shift this over just a little bit. I think I'm going to have to rework my table here. I noticed as I was getting ready for the live that things have begun to shift over more and more into my camera space, and I was trying to figure out why does it feel like I have no room? But I cleaned up here right after the first of the year and made space. And over time, as you're looking for paints and reaching for things, you'll find that your work area gets smaller and smaller as things shift while you're digging around. And looking for things. Okay, now I'm going to turn this just a little bit, because this door hanger is actually wider than a lot of them that I do. So I'm going to turn it just a little bit so you can see. All I'm doing is getting the sky portion on the other side of the beach ball here. All right, so we're going to twist him back around. And like I said, I'll come back and I'll add a second coat to that here in just a second. Check and make sure everything's looking smooth with our live. and I have paint all over me. Never fails. Never fails. See if this is dry enough for me to get. I think I stuck my finger in the blue, and I just stuck my hand in the blue on the other side. So it takes talent to stick your hand in the same glob of paint 3 or 4 times when you know you've just done it. It's like being talented enough to choke on air and trip over nothing. All right, so just working around and getting a second coat of the lighter blue. This blue is actually called Blue Haven. So it's a light color blue. I actually have used this for baby blue on baby boy door hangers and items. When I couldn't find the actual baby blue color. Now the second coat, as I'm putting it on, you can see the letters kind of fade away, but I'm spreading it out so that it'll go just a little bit thinner. Main thing I wanted to do was make sure that I had a good coat right here where I know the blue is going to shine by itself. Just kind of hitting a few spots that I see that I feel like need just a little evening out. Smoothing out, I guess, is a better choice of words. And I know I'm going off camera, but I'm just hitting this one little section over here that has blue sky on the other side of the beach ball here. Okay, I'm going to put that brush down for just a second, and I am going to grab a baby wipe and get this off my finger and my hand, primarily because this hand has the mouse, and I've already got it on the side of my mouse. Baby wipes are a wonderful thing if you've ever wondered how in the world can I get boo-boos off. See right there, I've got a little bit on the white, which doesn't really matter because I'm going to be using a honey brown for the sand color. But baby wipes are really good at getting paint off of painting boo-boos off of other colors. And it's not too bad at getting it off of you as well, so. Multiple uses for baby wipes. Who knew, huh? Don't forget to sprinkle the love. Spread the love to family and friends. Come back and write sprinkled in the comments, and you will be entered into our Mailbox Delight giveaway. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get the sand taken care of. And we'll have the sun and the sand done, and then we can start on all of our other bright colors. Now this particular color is just called Honey Brown, and I'm just going to use it for the sand color. You may have a lighter color, or actually I could lighten this up just a little bit just by taking a little bit of white. Make it just a little bit lighter because this is about the lightest brown I had other than khaki. And I really didn't want khaki in the mix for a summer hanger. So that lightened it up a little bit. And sand has variation, so I'm not worried too much about having this over here as being darker. I'll just put some of the lighter over it and blend it. Sand is going to be a lot like grass. I don't know why I'm following that line so precisely, because that's just a line in the sand. It's not an edge line. I was talking to my dad earlier. I told him, I said, maybe I need to get another cup of coffee. I had one this morning, but I think it ran out. Maybe I need to get another one. I'll go over this one more time, and what I may do is lighten it up even more and kind of give it a little more variation than just the one color. It can help to create a little bit of shadows and difference in the layering. You could even throw some little white if you wanted to have it kind of streaked looking. Be careful, otherwise I'll get that too light colored. I think I got that just about the same as I had it before. And I could always add more white to it. I just let's see how this looks. There we go. That's a little bit lighter. And it's going to give a variation to what we've already done. I could take this and just follow along on some of these buildups in the sand and give it different layers and different looks. All depends on what you're looking for. Had a chance to be a part of a 3-day boot camp this week, and that's what I did. I was trying to think earlier, what did I do this week? I was part of a 3-day boot camp that painted on canvas. And so I was able to learn a few new techniques and got the opportunity to paint on canvas, which is something I've done one. I did that with a magnolia trio on canvas, but I don't I don't do that. I don't do canvas a whole lot. Canvas is very new to me, so I'm learning with canvas. So, hey there, Miss Marie. Oh, you're never late. You're just on time. I've only got the sky and the sand done, so you got plenty more to hang out with. Oh, goodness. All right, let's see. So we did the sand, we did the sky, or the sky and then the sand. I'm going to go ahead and do the white on the beach ball. When it comes to white, sometimes I brave it and use a brush that I've already used, and then a lot of times if I don't start with white, then I'll just get a whole nother brush. But we'll see if I can get this one cleaned out enough where I can just keep working with this brush. I've discovered that I have some brushes that are a little more favored than others. Either it's because of the way they hold paint, like these I enjoy because they tend to hold a little more paint than brushes that I've had, the first brushes that I started out with. And I recently picked up some brushes, and I love the round brushes in that group. So I have probably one, two, three, maybe three different brands of brushes, and each one has ones that I enjoy painting with for various reasons. Like either the paint will load up really well in one, the round ones are that way. The paint loads up really well, and I enjoy doing some of my outlines with that one. And then like this particular style of flat brush, I enjoy it a lot. And the filbert tip brushes from this brand, I like a lot because of the way they tend to hold their shape when you're working in curves. So, okay, I do need a darker brown for this one, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait on doing that darker brown. I'm going to jump in with red. And I laid all my paints out here so that way I wouldn't forget the order I was going to do them in. As far as which one goes where on the, oop, turn him around just a little bit so that way you can see me working on the beach ball. This one is just a wide door hanger, and it's not that it's huge. If I'm not mistaken, this is like 20, maybe 21 wide. So I mean, it's typical. It's in the regular size range. It's just most times when you hear 21, it's up and down, not side to side. And so this one is in the range of a regular door hanger, but it's just not shaped like most of the ones that you would see that fall in the 20 to 21 inch category. All right, so we've got red, and now I've got to think real fast on whether or not I was putting red up here on the umbrella. Okay, let me think. I knew I should have wrote letters down here for these. Uh, Green, yellow, orange. Green, yellow, orange, red, blue. Yeah, red. Okay. I don't usually have that many colors at one time in a door hanger. This one is just a very colorful door hanger. I have door hangers with 3 and 4 colors, and it's not so much that there's a ton of variations of color, it's just there's a lot to be colored or painted in this one. Get right there in the E, right in the center. Now I'm actually going to do the letters in black, so if I just wanted to paint over that E in all red, it would be fine. If I chose a different color for the letters, then you would probably want to avoid getting the red in there because the red is going to change up your final color of the letters. But since I decided, yeah, I'm going to do this in black because there's so much color in this one, it wouldn't really hurt if I just painted over the letters. The biggest thing I want to watch out for is to make sure that I don't cover it to the point where I can't find my letter. Then that becomes a little bit of a challenge. You end up having to trace back over and all that good stuff. So trying to keep it where it's fairly simple and I don't have to do a lot of tracing. And again, you can change up the sayings as far as like if you didn't like the saying some beach somewhere, you could always change it up to where it says welcome or hi y'all or happy summer or hello summer. This template came with, uh, yes, I just did that. Baby wipe to the rescue. Save the beach ball. And I'm just flipping it around and getting to a new edge so that way I can get off the excess. So, ta-da! Yay, we saved the red or the white. I guess we saved the white, didn't we? We got rid of the red. I think that red's covered well enough. Sometimes the lights from, or the reflection of the light on the door hangers when the paint is wet, I have a hard time telling if the coverage is smooth. So I have to check my camera angle sometimes. And I'm starting to have issues with this overhead camera. Not really sure what's going on. I did an online market Friday night and I couldn't even use this camera Friday night. It was disconnecting and glitching very badly. So we may have to do some rearranging of things for the future future Facebook Lives. Technology, one of those wonderful things. All right, so I decided, since this is summer, I decided I would go with red, white, and blue on the beach ball. And so actually I could leave this on my door from June at least until, the end of July, because of having the red, white, and blue. It would cover 4th of July. So I decided I would go with red, white, and blue here. And of course, on the other side, it could have green and yellow. Oh, we can't see the other side, so all we get to see is the red, white, and blue. Now, this is not the color blue that I'm going to be using for the umbrella. With the umbrella, I'm actually going to go with a navy blue and make it a little bit darker. And it's so funny because we have a beach umbrella here, and I was looking at the colors in it because it's got all kinds of colors. I thought, wow, I'll be here like all month if I try to copy that umbrella. So I decided to hit with the main colors, and it has a dark or navy blue color in it. And so I said, that'll give it a variation from the beach ball because I didn't want it to look identical. Oop, almost dipped in the lighter color blue. And I could have gone with it even a lighter blue. I could have added white to the blue that I used on the beach ball, or I just could have picked a lighter blue out of my colors. That one is tricky right there because it comes right up underneath the letter E. And the navy blue is going to be one of those colors that if you're not careful, you're going to end up pushing it around rather than covering things up. So that's one of those you'll want to put it on there and let it dry, move on to something else, and then come back to it to add your um, second layer. My iPad keeps going off. I was trying to figure out, I have messages coming in. Okay, what color do I want to do next? Let's go with green. I'll get the green on here for the far end, and I'll have to move this over a little bit so that way you can see what I'm working on. I think I'm gonna need to check and see if there's an update for this overhead cam. Or maybe I should just, I don't know. Maybe there's a software update. I can update it. Need to check and see because it sure is freezing up a good bit. It was doing fine before I actually hit the button to go live. The other night during our online market though, it wouldn't connect, wouldn't stay connected. So again, technology. You never know when it's gonna actually function for you or sends you running and pulling your hair out. Okay, green is going to be another one that I'm going to need to come back to here in a minute. So we're going to jump on over to yellow. Told you there was a lot of color in this one. So I'm changing colors a lot, but it will definitely be one that catches the attention of folks. Because of all the colors, especially if you use like this bright yellow. It's actually called primary yellow, but it is a bright yellow. I did base coat this one before I got started, and the reason being is because I knew with the yellow and also the green, not so much the navy blue. You can't really see the wood through the navy blue. What you're seeing is where the streak lines are. But you can still see, you see streak lines on the green as well, but you can still see some wood shining through on the yellow, a little bit on the green. The blue, I think, is pretty much covered. I see a few spots I might could go back over with, but you know what? This is the sky, so I'm not really worried about making sure it's completely even. If it has a little bit of white that's showing through, it's okay. It could be a cloud. So we're gonna roll with we're gonna roll with that. All right, this is bright orange. Yep, I picked bright orange. Now this one is gonna be one I'm gonna have to do. I may have to do 3 or 4 coats of this one. The bright orange is one of those that is really sheer. I call them thin paints. Don't know that their consistency is not any thinner than the other colors. It's just that when you put it on, if you do not have a base coat underneath it, then you end up putting a lot of coats. And again, I'm going to be doing the words black, so I'm not really worried about painting them another color because the black will cover it up. Boy, that umbrella is bright. I knew it was going to be a really bright door hanger. But sometimes it's one of those things where you just need to see it in order to really realize how bright it's going to be. Okay, y'all, you know what? I just realized I forgot to do the sand over here. It's a good thing I still have some of this here in the top. I'm just going to go ahead and get that done real quick. I've had 2 or 3 door hangers now. I get through and I think, okay, I'm all done with that color. And then I look back and I'm like, oh man, there was that. That was supposed to be that color too. I still haven't decided what I'm going to do the handle in for my little paint pail here. I may go with gray because I'm going to have gray at the top of the beach ball and also there at the top of the umbrella. I'm going to go back and hit the white, make sure that was actually showing on camera so you didn't wonder what in the world I was doing. The white, I have just a little bit of see-through, even though it was base coated white. Still have just a little bit of see-through of the wood. So I'm going to hit this one more time. So that'll be 3 total coats for the white. But that's okay. I want it to be a really really bold, really smooth white, if you can say white is bold. A bright white, I guess is what I'm looking for. Okay, so I am looking back over. I think I'm going to go back and start hitting second coats on a few things. See if we can get some of these wrapped up, like our navy blue. Get that one finished up. And I'm not going over the letters in this one because this one is a darker color and I don't want to have to fight to see my letters. So I'm just going to kind of just pat or dab my brush there. I just realized I didn't do in the middle of the E. I get to looking at the bigger picture, and sometimes these little bitty corners and little nooks I overlook. Don't know that I really need to go over red, but I think I'm just going to do a real quick brush over there in the middle of the B. Looks like it needed a little bit there. Ooh, in the middle of the E it does. And then maybe one more time here on this side of the beach ball. Doesn't need a lot, but I just want to make sure it's even and smoothed out. All right, now I'm going to go for this other blue real quick because there's just a little bit here I can see shining through on this blue. So just a light brush over here with what I have left of this blue. And then I'm going to hit the green. And it's off camera. Turn him around here a little bit. Now the green, I'm going to have to add some more because this one is wanting to streak pretty good. Get another coat on the green, and that'll be two for pretty much everybody. All right, now grab my baby white because I did go over on the yellow, so that's where I'm moving to next. So I want to make sure that I'm not going to end up mixing a yellow and green combination here. Okay, so the last one on this one will be orange, and then I'm going to get the gray put in, and we will move to our sand pail. I still have to do the hole for the umbrella, but I'm going to wait because it's going to be a darker brown. And so I'm going to wait until just before I get ready to do my letters. All right, so there's the orange. There's the umbrella. So there it is in full, a little bit better view than, because a lot of the green is getting cut off. All right, so I'm going to get the gray. And my gray, there it is. It's like the gray has gone missing. He was just hiding from me. He was just hiding from me. I'm just going to put a couple of drops here in the lid because I don't really have that much to cover with the gray. So I don't think I'm going to be needing a whole lot. Now I'm still using this same flat brush. The filbert tip brush would actually work probably a lot easier in that smaller space especially. Now this one I'm not too worried about because I do have an open end, so it's not curved all the way around. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and get the little handle. I'm going to go ahead and do him gray. You could do him any color. Yellow would be cute. If you're thinking about a plastic bucket, of course they have yellow and white and all kinds of different colors for the plastic ones. Get the little spot right in there next to that E. All right, now for the pail, I'm actually going to make it a pretty bright color, just to give a variation to all of this other color that's going on. And then what I'm going to do, once I get the color on the pail, I'm going to put little white polka dots. Now you could put yellow, you could put purple, whatever colors you like. I've already got some yellow in this door hanger, so I decided I would not do yellow. I have a little bit of white. It's just on the beach ball. And so I decided, well, you know what? White polka dots would probably be super cute with this color. And this color is Laguna. I like the Laguna color. I also like, I went back and forth because I started to do peacock teal. And it's just a little bit darker than this one. Now, as far as this rim goes, I keep going back and forth with what color I should do the rim. I'm going to do white polka dots, so I thought about doing a white rim, but then I was like, well, that's going to be even more white. So I may make that pink. That's an option. Or I could do that yellow and add a little more yellow. I haven't really decided. If you've got a choice. Hey, Miss Cindy. I'm glad you could join me this evening. And I still love the way you put the sunglasses on on the door at your house. They are so cute. So what do y'all think for the rim? Do you think yellow? I've already got a little bit of yellow on here. Or maybe a pink? Pink would work. Or I'm going to do white polka dots as soon as I get this smoothed out where I like it. And then let it dry for a few seconds. I'm going to go back and add white polka dots. So I could just leave the rim white and it would match. Or I could add even more color. Like I said, go with pink. Or we could do yellow. What do y'all think? What do you think goes well with this Laguna color? It's kind of a turquoise-ish. Turquoise-ish? Is that even a word? Color. All right, y'all think about it and tell me what you think. What color I should do the rim. While you're thinking, I am going to do the pole in a darker brown. I don't know why there's two browns that I always go to. One is called a sable brown, and the other one is chocolate brown, or dark chocolate. Dark chocolate is actually what it's called. So I'm thinking dark chocolate. You can never go wrong with chocolate, right? All right. I'm going to get this painted. And then hopefully that'll give our little bucket time to dry and I can get the polka dots put on. And then we will start on our letters. All right. So this one will need a second coat for sure. All right, so there is I'm glad you like your sunglasses door hanger, Cindy. I had fun doing those. You can do those in so many different ways. I've seen patriotic door sunglasses. I've seen a lot of different things painted on the sunglasses part. So for the patriotic one, the sunglasses are blue and there are red and white stripes across the lenses. And then I've seen where others have drawn like flowers in the lenses and what was another one I saw? It was another summer themed one. And right now I can't think of what was on the lens part. But there's a lot of different ways you can do those sunglasses. So they're cool. I enjoyed doing that one. That was one of my first ones that I actually did, and it was it was one I did just for an example when I was first getting into the world of door hangers. So I got ahead of myself, so now I'm having to fix a boo-boo. And it's one of those things where the more you play with it, the worse it gets. It's like just put the brush in the water, Sandy, and leave it alone. All right, so now Yay, that's dry and ready for our polka dots. So I'm going to put just a little more white here in my little white container. It's been a while since I did a door hanger on the live that took up almost all of my compartments. I have been sticking to just a few colors, and tonight I have really filled up my egg carton here. All right, so this is just a little sponge pouncer, and what I'm going to do, I have dipped it in my paint, and then I just ran it off on the little, what do you call this thing? The little piece in between the egg holders, the maybe a partition. We'll go with that. I just kind of rubbed it off on the side there. On the side, we'll go with that one too. That one works even better, and just kind of evened it out. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna place it and press down and then twist, and then lift straight up. And that's all I'm gonna do. And just put some little polka dots on our little pail. And I kind of work in a triangle. So I have two here, and I'm thinking there's a space, and then I move over just a little more, almost as if I had an extra sponge pouncer and was spacing between. Just wipe off the excess, and then come over, and I'm just working in a triangle mode here. And you don't have to dip each time. You actually can get away with not dipping every time. I'm almost out of white paint, so I actually did not wipe off any excess that time because I'm almost needing to do a refill. But I'm going to try to I'm going to try to squeeze the last little bit out of here. Okay, now on this one, I'd really like to put one right there. So I'm kind of holding it at an angle. And this is where you kind of have to get a little creative because I do not have a Post-it note over here with me. I moved my Post-it notes the other night during the online market, and I did not put them back. I'm so ashamed. It's one of those things. You tell everybody put things back in their place so you can find them when you need them. Then I didn't do. They're not watching, so I'm not going to tell. You're not going to tell. All right, so our color for the rim. Did we have any thoughts on the color on the rim? White or pink? Okay, white or pink on the rim. You know what? I think I'm going to go pink, and here's why. There is so much color in this, and I just put white polka dots on here. So I think I am going to get a pink. And I'm probably not going to go with a really bold pink. Not like a, well, I don't know. Hot pink might be the way we want to go. Because that's pretty bold. And some of these colors are really bold in here. So you know what? We're going to do this with bold, hot pink. We're just going to splash it in here. This is, it's so funny. I did a nail polish bottle for a nail salon. And when getting the colors, uh, this was the favorite color polish when it was ordered. And so I got to look at this color. I'm like, oh my goodness, I like this color. So it was funny because the lady told me, she said, I have it saved in my Amazon. So you know what? I'm gonna have to go save that color in my Amazon too. I really do like this color pink. Trying to think, what did I just, oh, I know what I used this on. The 3-day workshop that I just finished up with the canvas. This was the color of the flowers, the base color. Now, there were layers that were added that were other colors like white and a sheen color that we used at the end after we got through with all of our different layers and stuff. But this was the base color for the flowers. And I was just like, ooh, yeah, I like that one. Oh, that's pretty cool. I like that really bright pink on there. Makes the polka dots pop out. I like that. Okay, I am going to find my brown one more time and finish up with the pole here, and then we're going to get the letters done. All right. Now, for the letters, they're kind of, they're thin on some parts and thick on other parts, and so this is going to be one of those where I am probably going to be using the side of the brush as much as I am using the flat part of the brush. So I am going to go with probably one of my smaller flat brushes. And I am trying to find, is that the one I want? I think that's the one I want. Okay, let's use him. All right, now I got to get my black because I am going to do black letters. With all this color, I'm like, we're going to need something to kind of help these letters stand out. So as I said, this gets really tiny in some areas. So I am actually trying to just use like the corner or the tip of part of this brush. The other nice thing about black that I like when using that on letters, most of the time you can get away with one coat. Most of the time. I say that, watch it prove me wrong. I have to do 2 coats. Now, I am not going to sweat if this goes a little thicker than what it shows line-wise. I am not going to sweat it. The lines are there for my guide. They are not there for me to beat myself up over if I get outside of them. The M worked out really well because it was just wide as the the brush if I turn it sideways. So I just brought it across and made the bottom of the M in just a few swipes. Do need to straighten up the end of that M there. Okay. Another thing I like about the white handle brushes that I have, their brushes and bristles seem to withstand a little more of, um, I'll be nice and say wear and tear. I was going to say my abuse. The wear and tear of painting. And so some of my brushes, I have a hard time using them with letters because the bristles tend to flare after I have used them some. And there are tricks to get those back in a ruly order. I just have not taken the time to use those tricks. It's on my list of to-dos. All right, so I am just simply turning the brush. Sometimes it is coming down just flat. Let me get where you can see, just flat and straight down. Sometimes I'm turning it sideways and coming straight down. Just depends on how wide it is at that point of the letter. And again, if I get outside my lines, I'm not sweating it. The lines are there to guide me. Not to be a point of frustration and aggravation. Now, I say all that, and y'all have to know that a lot of times when I share these tips, it is more like me preaching to myself because there are times when I get very frustrated over where the paint goes. I did not want you to go over there. I wanted you to stay over here. And I've got just a little bit of what I call fray marks, or it's not straggly bristles. It's just where when you come to the end of a letter, sometimes the brushes will not end. It also depends on how much paint you have in the brush. It will just kind of be a little fuzzy at the end. All I need to do is just take a paint pen and I can straighten those up. Most of the times on my lettering, I end up using a paint pen to clean up my letters. And that just makes the edges smooth and crisp. And like I said, it straightens up any of the, or cleans up any of the little feathery looks that you might get from the bristles. All right, now on my dots, I'm going to hold off on those. I'm not going to do those with this brush. I'm going to hold off on that. I'm just going to work on the lettering part. And I'm going to come back to the dots. We're getting closer. And like I said earlier, you can change up what's on this one. It could say hello summer or hi y'all, or it could just say welcome. It wouldn't have to say some beach somewhere. This is what came with the template, and I stuck to the template. And again, I'm just going to do some cleanup with my paint pen afterwards. Sometimes it doesn't make, I get paint in there, but it doesn't make it as far as I want it to. All right, just a few more letters. And then we'll do some outlining and we will be all done. And I'm just turning the brush sideways to get the skinny part of the W. And then I'm going back to the flat part. To get the main part of the letter. Another cool thing that would have looked neat on this one is you could have gone with you could have done the pole for the umbrella in a different color, and you could have actually done the words in the brown, and then the feathered look from the brush would actually make it look almost like wood. So you could have done it in various colors that would have made it look like driftwood. So that would have been really cool. I love a driftwood look. Don't forget about the Mailbox Delight giveaway. That'll be happening at the end of the month. If you sprinkle the love to your family and friends, just comment sprinkled and your name will go in to our March giveaway for something neat to arrive in your mailbox. A little happy mail, if you will. All right, so one more letter, and then we're going to work on outlining and the dots. All right, so there we go. And with the lettering being black, what I intend to do is go back with a little bit of white and do highlight marks on there. But I'm going to wait till I've had time to kind of clean it up a little bit. There'll be highlights all over in various places before I finish, but we're going to do the main highlights and wrap it up for this evening. All right, I'm going to start over here with the pale. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to outline basically just go over where I had the marker lines. So I'm not going to go right up to my letter. because I know I'll be doing a little work on the letters and getting them tidied up later on as well. Just going to define the sand from our sky. Also give just a little bit of definition there to the sand. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to be turning this around so that way I can kind of keep things on camera. So you'll be you'll be looking at it upside down for a few minutes. But I want you to see how I'm doing the outline around the beach ball. And like I said, I'll be adding some highlight marks and stuff to this as well. So separate our sand there. And then I'm going to do the umbrella upside down as well, just so you can see it. And then, of course, add our outside line. I don't usually run right up to my letters, and that way it kind of gives that space where it doesn't look like everything is all jumbled up together. Now, sometimes, like in between here, it's a little hard to do, so I might just put a dot. There's not much space there, but I try to make sure that it's defined. Okay, let's turn you back around so you can see him. Now, for the dots here, I'm just going to use my paint pen. I can do this one of two ways. Either I can just leave the dots with the blue in the center, or I can fill them in. Now, I am going to fill them in, and to me, the quickest and easiest is just to take my paint pen here and just give it a few little taps or a few little swipes, and they're filled in and ready to go. All right, so there is our summer door hanger. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish up the highlights and then I'll post the finished picture a little later on. Well, thank y'all so much for joining me and hanging out with me this after evening. I felt like it was afternoon. I'm still getting used to the time change and all that good stuff. So I felt like it was afternoon because it was still bright and sunny in here when I started. For a minute, I thought I was going to have to find a way to block out the sunshine. It was shining right across my my door hanger here. And I'm noticing here with the E, I may even have to do a little bit of outlining or a little bit of shadowing with the white to kind of help make that stand out. I didn't really think about that when I picked that color blue. So something to think about for maybe the next time I do this door hanger. Well, I hope y'all have a great evening and have a super week. And if you're not on our e-newsletter list, that goes out shortly, and it has the inside scoop for things going on. And then coming up very soon, you'll begin to see promos for the new box and the launch of it, and it is called the Door Dazzle box. Y'all have a great week. I'll see y'all next week.